I thought you rage quit when I ran downstairs to fill up my fag.
Yeah.
That's what they call bum sex now, isn't it?
That Ewok question's amazing.
Got to top up the old gay boy.
Please stand by.
Right, what's up, people?
What's up, people? Welcome to the GSC Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Lauchi. Joined this week, as usual, by Johnny.
Hello.
Jaime C.
Hello.
And Gianni Spagnoli.
Hello.
How are you guys doing this week?
Fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that all it is? All right.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want it. I thought, hang on, somebody might say something, and then I could jump in, and it'd be a bit awkward.
I'm really worried, man. I'm hoping I haven't messed anything up this week after the technical difficulties that plagued last week.
We're all worried.
I'm fairly sure it's going to go okay. Like, fingers crossed. Anyway, let's...
Press on.
Cheers, dude. Let's start as we always do with what we've been playing / doing this week. Johnny, you're up, broski.
I finished GTA 5, finally.
Hey. Did you do all 3 endings?
No, just one. And then I was talking to Jamie about the other 2, and I think I picked the right one. I picked C for anyone who cares. So I guess everyone picked C.
Well, we did tell you to do it.
Yeah, it's a bit anticlimactic, really, the ending. But it's fine. It's okay. It's serviceable. But I was expecting a bigger ending, I guess.
Well, the other 2 are disappointing in comparison.
Yeah, Jamie was telling me about it. But yeah, at least that's out of the way. And yeah, I've just been. I've actually. What's that?
I was gonna say, just keep making your words come out really slow, and you might get to 2 minutes.
Okay then.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was going to say that I've been playing my Vita again. I've been playing more Persona 4.
Yay.
But, damn, I need to play that more.
Yeah,
the
you
Vita. There's no games. Come on, guys. Give me
It's
some
true.
games.
We are
You should play
hitting
Persona 4 more. Come on, man.
There is no Vita games.
It's like a massive drought at the moment on the Vita, man.
When's FF10 coming out? I want that bad boy.
Early next year, I believe. No, it might be December, actually.
Holy shit.
I know, sooner than you thought.
That's going to be in me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's just some GTA 5s.
Okay, cool, man.
Vitas. Yeah.
Gianni, what have you been up to this week, man?
Since the death of my PS3, I haven't been able to play a hell of a lot.
So 2 minutes silence, shall we?
Yeah, let's have a 2 for the 60 gig. No, but I opened it all up and I tried to. Well, I managed to get my game out, but I couldn't solve the issue. Yellow light of death, and it served me well. So, despite needing a new hard drive, disk drive, but yeah, that's a bit.
How long did it work for? After you got it fixed.
Well, no, because it wasn't the same issue. That's the thing. The disk drive went ages ago, and I just never got around to sorting it out. And then
I think it knew the PS4 was coming, so it committed harakiri.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened.
Remember when the Xbox 360 Slims were coming out, and then there was that massive rush of faulty consoles, like the week before or something? Simple thing. Like...
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, there was a spike of like red rings. But yeah, so that's pretty much restricted me to just playing Pokemon. And it's probably going to be the same next week, and then the week after. Oh my god. Yeah.
Jeez, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Jamie, save us, man. Save us.
Oh god, like the week. I'm not sure if I need 2 minutes, but maybe I've got a bit of a Marmite game this week. I finished Remember Me. And I actually want to say it's one of the most interesting games I've played in a long time.
You remember it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it having any chance of a sequel or anything like that. But I guess what I was going to say is that a new IP at this time in the generation is actually quite hard to pull off. But then I remember The Last of Us, and that just stormed it. But for what it is, I think it's a beautiful vision of this like Neo Paris future, and I think the gameplay is okay. You know, it controls well. It's my sort of game because it's the action platforming. But then some of these elements that you put in there with the memory mixing, it's all good. It's all fun. The final act, the start of the final act, is mind blowing. But I just don't think enough people will be playing through long enough to get to that point.
Did the combo system flesh out as you unlock more moves and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you can use 4 combo slots, but then you unlock more that you can link together and you can choose how you want it to go. So it worked out okay. And like combat was never a major issue because you unlock weapons for your arm as well. I think the biggest thing about the game for me though is that I've just got this real yearning to see it exist within the Mass Effect universe.
Why?
And it fits so well for me. The character fit in there, and I think like the design, like I said about this Neo Paris, it just felt like it would be right at home in Mass Effect. Like
so what you're saying is it should have been that
Mass
setting
Effect.
and character and stuff should have just been in a Mass Effect game.
It just needed to exist within a BioWare universe, yeah, within the Mass Effect universe. And it's a shame because then maybe it might have fleshed out more and the game might have had a chance. But for what it is, it's still an interesting game and it's still worth a go. Definitely.
Do you think it would have performed better if they'd focused more on the sort of memory weaving segments rather than like combat and stuff?
Yes, because the part, like I say, about the start of the final act, the memory remix that you do then, it's mind blowing. And there's a bit later on where you're forcing somebody to remember killing you, just so that you influence them in that way and change their perception on life and change what they're doing. It's mental.
Yeah, see, when I hear these things, because you only actually get to do the memory manipulation thing like 3 times throughout the game, right?
Yeah, it's 3 or 4. I think one of the times it's almost like a repeat of another, so it still counts as 3, really.
So, I mean, I feel like when they've got an idea that's that good, they should have just focused on that idea rather than trying to make it just a brawler or whatever it is.
Yeah, some of the combat might have worked, could have been reworked, redone, and then put some of those memory mixins in there, and we'd have been all right. But yeah, there you go. Give it a go.
Cool. Is that you?
It's done. Yeah, I've had 2 minutes.
Oh, you could have had more, man, because I haven't really done anything. What have I done this week? I started playing Warhammer.
Really?
That happened, yep. I'm in a tournament campaign thing next year.
Do you mean like a little physical figure statue?
Yes, I fucking do.
You have to like paint them with your sweaty face.
Yes, I fucking do. No, I'm not proud, alright? What else did I do? I saw that the DLC for Bioshock Infinite came out and then forgot to play it. So that happened. The first part of what's it called?
Burial at Sea.
That's the one. The first part of Burial at Sea came out. I'm going to be playing that soon, I hope. But the expansion to XCOM is also out, I believe, which is Enemy Within, which I also really want to play. So it could have been interesting this week if I'd actually played the games I wanted to play.
I was going to say, this segment isn't called What Did You Want to Play?
Instead, I glued together a load of little plastic toys.
Painted them with your sweaty face, yeah.
That is what I did. Right?
For something like, for like a fan base that's so like fat-handed, they really do try and give you something so intricate and delicate to do, don't they?
Well, it doesn't help that. Like, I used to collect Warhammer when I was a kid, man, and I thought I was quite good at painting, man. But now, for some reason, I shake like a crackhead, so it looks like somebody with like Parkinson's has been painting them.
The Michael J. Fox collection.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Anyway.
He should bring out his own range of Warhammer toys, like Warhammer for the gifted.
All right, let's
Instead of paint by numbers, it would just be paint by whatever the fuck you want. Just do it.
For fuck's sake. All right, let's swing back into video games because people don't give a fuck about Warhammer.
Nope.
I guess the only thing we can talk about this week, well, maybe not the only thing, but the major thing has to be all the Sony news because the PS4 came out in the USA, guys.
It has landed.
Whoa.
The PS4 is
I didn't
in the
know
wild.
that.
Do you know what that means? We're officially next gen now, so now it's current gen before we've even got it here. That's mind blowing. I don't
Yeah.
get it. Hang
Mind
on.
blown, man. Current gen.
So like current gen is now new gen current. Anyway.
Smooth.
That's good.
So, what do you guys think of the news that we've been getting? The general feel of it before we talk to like specifics.
It's getting good feedback, I reckon. It's getting everyone's pretty much enjoying it.
Mm.
There
Yeah.
is
There's some mixed things.
there's less controversy than I thought there was going to be.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in Knack. I think for me, I thought that would probably do a bit better than it had. But
Yeah. Let's jump on that one now because you see I put it further down, but that's quite a good point to bring up now. Is that the review scores haven't been too promising across the board. I think there are a few that have stood out, like Resogun has done all right, and Killzone's averaging like 8.0 sort of time, isn't it? But for Knack to be on a Metacritic of 5.9 and them just to be complaining that it's just complacent and boring, that's really disappointing.
Now, I'm gonna stand up for Knack a little bit here. In even Mark Cerny said before the reviews and stuff for Knack came out that Knack isn't a AAA game like killer app type thing. It's like an add-on sale. So, and he's the guy who like made the game. So, for him to say his own game is like more of an add-on sale.
But is it not being sold at retail price?
Is it a full retail release?
It's a full retail, but I mean, what he's trying to get at, the point is, like, so a gamer like myself, I wouldn't consider myself a hardcore gamer, but I still like to try all the different ranges. But then when it comes down to it, I've got a little boy at home that's going to want to see this new thing in action as well. So it just gives me the option to have that extra title. I'm still getting it.
You just say you wouldn't consider yourself a hardcore gamer?
No, I wouldn't.
You're more hardcore than anyone I know.
That's worrying, then.
Huh? No, not in the like militant fanboy kind of way, but you like the widest sort of range, and you play the widest range of games out of anyone I know.
Okay.
That makes you pretty hardcore, I'd say.
I'm still not having sex with you. You can talk
Damn.
once.
But yeah, no, I was quite surprised with the reviews in that because I was considering it, and then you mentioned about the reviews. But then NBA, was it 2K14?
Yeah, to be honest, it's more because I want you to play that with me than anything. So
But that does
to
look pretty
play
damn
that
cool,
one.
man. I was sold. That does look awesome. But anyway, I digress.
Cool. Well, I mean, regardless of how Knack's doing or not, I guess the day one sales figures speak for themselves. So, you guys are all aware that it sold 1 million units in its first 24 hours, right? So that's actual sales to customers as well, not like shipping to stores like they usually do.
That's the record, right? Is that a record?
It's
That's in
way
North.
ahead of where the PS2 was, and you're looking. It's just North America and Canada. But yeah, way ahead of where they were with PS2, and obviously PS3 wasn't going to do anything, was it, with its high price tag?
£500, wasn't it, or something? 400.
There's also
Ridiculous.
there's also speculation that it's going to surpass the Wii U by the end of the year.
Not
You
surprised.
say speculation when a console's only on 3.9 million over a year.
Yeah,
That's
but I
worrying.
mean, that like we could see everyone buying it at launch, and then that's the only people that wanted to buy it, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
But they've sold 1 million in North America alone and Canada.
that's true. And
And-
pre-order numbers were really up there, sort of over here as well, weren't they?
Yeah, well, if what you read is believed, you probably have about, well, let's just say for sake of argument, there'll be another close to 1 million here. So they're already over halfway they'll already be halfway to topping the Wii U, and that's in 2 weeks. So
Well,
it's not
And then you look
looking
at
good.
Christmas stock replenishment, which will be
Oh,
the
yeah.
heavy hit.
That's
Yeah.
second wave, isn't it? So
Yeah.
quite strong. But then,
I mean, the pre-order numbers were always higher from the get-go, and there was a PS4 event in our local game store in Oxford, in the city centre, and I didn't go to the event, but I did pop in to speak to the staff the next day, and they informed me that the PS4 pre-order numbers that they have are like much higher. I'm talking like almost double the Xbox One pre-orders, and that their allocation is completely filled through phase 2 and 3 now after that event.
Yeah.
So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Which is surprising. Like, to jump on that for a minute then, obviously a few weeks back we sent our friend Chris, and he's gone along to the Xbox One event that they had there. And so they were showcasing things like Dead Rising and Forza and this Killer Instinct. But they didn't have any like AAA games at the Sony event.
I'll tell you one thing that they did say was really impressive. They had 6 units set up in store at the front, and then 1 Vita set up at the back, and the Vita was there just to remote play units from the front. And apparently it was seamless. Like they could start like playing down one end and then go to the other end and hit remote play and carry on playing, and it was 1-to-1. There was almost no sort of like frame drop or anything like that.
That is
Excellent.
cool. It's a function that I'm excited for.
Yeah, it's a function that I wasn't excited for until I realized how useful it's going to be in my household.
Yeah, definitely.
It's awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about teething problems, Ben.
Talk about teething problems.
Yeah, talk about issues.
I think you should talk to us about teething problems, Jamie. Talk to us about
Wow.
the 4% failure rate.
Right, well, apparently then, so I had this listed as 0.4%.
It was originally.
That's
Yeah, new
the figure
figures.
I'd heard as well.
That was originally
New
on the
figures
new
from Johnny.
revised
Johnny
thing,
is our source, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
so if you check now, before 4%.
Because my original tagline for this next bit of news was to say 0.4%. What's the uproar, you know? But I guess 4% is a little bit higher, but still, it's nothing like the Xbox 360, which was what, like 30? Did you say 33%? earlier?
Yeah, the
You were
original
saying?
Xbox is around 33%.
So, I mean, you're going to have a few, and that 4% also captures some of the next points that I've brought up, and they're not so much issues, just people panicking and thinking like that the machine has to run. Well, I mean, you would expect it to run perfectly, wouldn't you? You've just bought a new piece
Yeah,
of kit, but
course.
there's going to be a few problems, of course. And like,
Perspective, yeah?
but-
4% would be 40,000 units out of the initial million that they sold.
yeah, it sounds quite a lot.
Yeah.
But hang on, can I just butt in here? There was a report about somebody who was complaining that their PS4 was bricked within within their first day they had it, and when he was pushed on it, he unplugged the console as it was doing an update.
Okay.
Right, now this happened with the Wii U as well when it came out, because this is something that the gamers are going to have to understand now, is that the console makers are going to start doing this day one updates. But if people are stupid enough to turn off a system when it's reading the hard drive, it doesn't matter what it is, you're going to corrupt the system, but you've got a good chance of doing it anyway. And that is included in that 4% failure rate.
I mean, for me, I wonder what the average is. I mean, obviously, like a new product, there are going to be some faults or failures. Like,
I believe the average is about 5% for any new piece of electronics.
so we're probably about in line then. I mean, this is probably what they expected, I assume.
I mean, they probably do have they have probably allocated about 5% of a failure rate, I'd imagine.
So technically there should be a non-point, but it's worth.
Well, no,
discussing
it's always going to be a point, isn't it? Because people are going to be talking about it. I mean, especially coming out of last gen with all the madness that was going on there with the red ring of death and the 3 lights, whatever it is.
Yeah,
no,
it's nothing
the,
on that scale.
the 3 beeps yellow light of death for the PS3.
Oh my god!
We talk about things like the ring of death then. So people come to associate these red lights as the negative, and that's it. That's the end of the console. There is an issue with the PS4 in that when it overheats, it will the bar that's normally blue across the top of the console, that will just be like a strong red running across it. And so people are kicking off about that as well, saying, "Oh no, my console's dead. My console's dead." Like kicking up all this fuss online. When in fact, it's a new piece of kit. You're playing it too much. It just needs to cool down, and it's there as a warning for you to let you know what it is. But it's just so poorly associated now with that last gen, where you had the red ring.
But
People just instantly see the red as like, oh no, it's the end of the console.
So I'm guessing the console just sort of shuts itself down, goes into like a saving mode.
Like a protective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the same with. My iPhone does that because of where it is in the car. It got a bit hot. I get an exclamation mark. The phone basically shuts itself off and says,
Right.
"Wait for it to cool down for a bit." That's. I'd rather that.
Really.
Yeah. Then it burns everything out inside. So.
And then we also had the HDMI port issue, didn't we? Where there's like a bit of metal stuck in the HDMI port, so it's like people can't get their sort of output image onto their TV, right?
This is such a stupid one, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit curious.
The first noted point of it was on like one of the Kotaku reporters. The console he received, he couldn't get his HDMI port in, so he was complaining to Sony saying there's no video output. I can't do it. It's not letting me do it. He sent it back, and all they did was literally just like probably use like a pair of pliers or something to bend the metal back down.
I wonder how prevalent that's going to be, because that would annoy the hell out of me, man. That's a very simple like manufacturing thing that could fuck a lot of people over.
Yeah, that's true.
I also wonder if there are more reports of this, or if it was him just wanking it off as he got it out of the box, trying to shove his HDMI port cable in so hard that he just messed up the metal.
Maybe.
There's an option.
That's why
Ben, don't wank yours out of the box. Just get it out.
But this is why I'm always a bit cautious about talking about these sort of issues at the start, because there's always, if something doesn't quite go right, or without experiencing it ourselves, like we could, if all of us had the same problem, we could say, well, right, there's actually a manufacturing issue. But until we've actually opened up our own ones and actually experienced it, then we're not really too sure. Anyone could really say, and I'm not saying they would, but people can say anything.
Let's see how smoothly it goes, everywhere else. I know America's a big place, but let's see if
they got the fat fingers.
There's a bit of a catch, isn't there? Because part of you wants to read up on this stuff in case there's important information that you need to action when you're dealing with your console launch. But then the other part of you sees all the negative news on it, and it worries you. So you mentioned the Wii U launch and how it had that day one update. I was shitting myself doing that update once I got my console, because
really?
I knew my Wi-Fi wasn't the strongest at the time. It was having issues. But then I'm thinking, well, yeah, this download, I could lose this piece of kit straight away. But yeah, so that's just frustrating.
Was that a thing?
There was a Wii U problem with them bricking on launch because of the update freezing out. Yeah, I didn't see percentages on that, but it was small. But it was enough, like you say, in the news, you see it all, and it panics you.
Man, I would have been shitting myself. I hope there's no I hope it doesn't come out that the PS4 sometimes bricks whilst it updates, because that initial update, man.
No, but if you physically put, I think there's a difference. Like when you're updating, I don't know, but if you're updating a game on your PlayStation 3 when it's being downloaded, and then you turn the system off or your system shuts off, it seems to have a sort of backup. So just make sure that there's no issues that led up to the reason why it just shut off. So, but don't really know where I'm going with this, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know. I just think you just got to be careful. That's it. You don't do anything stupid, and it'll be fine.
Because there's a difference between when it's downloading and obviously when it's installing. When it's downloading, it doesn't matter if your Wi-Fi gets cut off or it gets turned off. But when it's actually sort of applying the patch, that's when you have to be scared.
Yeah.
Is that something that you have to consciously action yourself now? Because I know it downloads your updates in the background, right?
Yeah.
But does it update in the background as well, or do you have to consciously go and run the update and just not worry about the download part of it? I would imagine you would, right? Like it would download and then you'd have a little notice saying your most recent update's ready to go.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to go and update it yourself. Otherwise, these problems will happen. If it's updating in the background and you don't know, then you could turn it off in the middle of an update,
I think if it's a day one, it will probably, before you can do anything else, it will be the first thing it does. I'd be surprised if it didn't.
Well, it does do that. They confirm that the first thing the PS4 does is start downloading the update in the background as soon as you switch it on and connect it to Wi-Fi. So
in the background?
Yeah. Like it immediately starts to download the update as soon as you set up your Wi-Fi.
Well, the only thing I'd say is then, well, don't go into anything. I probably wouldn't start a game until the update's all finished, just in case.
Totally.
Because the last thing you want to do is lose any progress because the things interrupt your game. But maybe it's just me, but I just make sure all that stuff gets done first, and then I can enjoy the console without having to worry about anything. But never mind.
Cool. Well, I mean, it's been a strong launch, right? They've shifted 1 million units in the first 24 hours. Even had a tweet from the opposition congratulating them on it.
Yeah.
What do we think? What do we think about the strength of the actual lineup itself, though? Because the more I look at the two launch lineups, even with the freebies that you're getting on PlayStation Network, like the Xbox One just looks like the more appealing thing now to me in terms of like games.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
yeah, all
Like
of
what?
like the big games that I was looking forward to were Infamous, which is until next year, Watch Dogs, which now is until next year, and I guess that would be it. But if you think like where are the exclusives now? It's literally just Knack and Killzone, isn't it?
Yeah,
And that
I
was
was saying to Johnny before we came online though that the Killzone campaign now for launch, outside of Dead Rising, of course, the Killzone campaign is probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most. It's got to be.
I've always been a big fan of Killzone, right? I played and completed all of them. I really like the series, but it's not that popular. Even though I feel like it should be pretty popular, it's just not, and it's not going to be the draw that they would need at launch. I mean, one thing I did note that happened the other day was they confirmed the new Uncharted game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's happening. So I mean that's one thing, but I mean that's going to be like a year at least, isn't it, before we get that?
Yeah, I reckon 2 years to be honest.
Do you want a little fun fact, right?
Yeah.
Uncharted 4 teased, so they did that event on the eve of the PS4 launch. So the actor voicing that character that you hear in that trailer is a guy called Todd Stashwick, right?
Yep.
They've now confirmed he will be playing the character in the game. He's got a character in the game. So I've had a little look to see what he's done previously. And he's voice actor in Phineas and Ferb and Tom and Jerry. There you go.
Oh wow.
These voice actors, man, they get around.
They do get around. Most of them, though, you normally see like doing the rounds in all of the superhero cartoons, don't you?
Yeah.
But no, this guy's voicing the Cowardly Lion in the Tom and Jerry Wizard of Oz special.
Who did he voice in
He's
Phineas and Ferb?
It just says additional voices.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. He's done some live action stuff, but nothing that really. That's not what we're in it for. We don't care.
No.
But yeah, I mean, so that's a game that I would definitely buy, and Infamous is a game that I'll definitely buy. But what else am I going to buy in the interim, man? I guess this is where I'm glad that they're backing the indie studios and stuff. That there's going to be a lot of these smaller games that will sort of tide me over.
You're sounding like Johnny now though, because you're both like starting to find reasons to doubt your purchase.
Oh, I'm definitely buying it. Like I'm gonna have the piece of kit, but I don't know how much use I'm gonna get out of it early on.
Well,
and I guess that's the curse of the early adopter, right?
Yeah,
because there will be a massive gap.
But look, let's face it. Because we had this conversation about which of the two consoles looks like it's going to be stronger over a longer period, which one are going to have the better exclusivities, and I think we all unanimously decided it is going to be the PlayStation 4 because that's the only reason why I'm getting it. Well, not the only reason, but one of the reasons. So I think it's a bit short-sighted. I mean, as much as I'm also as disappointed as you with the fact there's not as many at launch,
It's
all
an
it
investment,
means,
isn't it?
yeah, all it means is it's more spread out because the last thing you want is just to have them all out at launch and then nothing to look forward to for another year. And you could end up, very much like Wii U or PS Vita, like scratching around for games. So as
But
you know,
but like if you do I've invested quite heavily at launch and I am getting quite a few games, but then here's the thing: I looked at Need for Speed and I thought, oh, I could get that as well, but then I stopped and thought, well, no, because that's too much in one go. Why don't I wait a month or two, and I could pick that up as if it's a new title, because it still is going to be a new game to me, and I wouldn't have played it. You've got March 21st. That's the release date of Infamous Second Son. So you've got 4 months where there's not really going to be anything major coming out. So you just got to try and spread out those new releases.
Yeah, when's Watch Dogs coming out again?
Is it like June now? April, May, June, that sort of time.
Right, okay. So
you've got a bit of a gap.
So some things to look forward to. And I think with, again, I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but you've always got PlayStation Plus to rely on for others' content. So isn't one or two of the PS4 games going in that from launch?
When you pick up the console at launch, the PlayStation Plus, free games, you'll get the Resogun and you'll get Contrast, and then when Drive Club does eventually come out, you'll still get that as well.
Yeah.
See, now that I'm so thankful for, man, because Resogun and Contrast were the 2 titles that I was going to buy from PSN. So if they're going to give them to me just for being a PSN subscriber, then that is awesome. Resogun looks absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And Contrast looks really sort of unique. Even though it looks kind of similar to A Link Between Worlds, in a way. In that, like, you're playing in, like, a 3D plane, and then you can jump into, like, walls to be, like, on the walls, although you're a shadow in Contrast, and a painting in A Link Between Worlds. It's a similar system. I wonder if A Link Between Worlds will use it in the same sort of way. Because Contrast looks really nice in that, like, they play on, like, the size difference from, like, a light source on a shadow, whereas, like, there could be a guy hammering something in the foreground, and then, like, when you jump onto the wall, your shadow's a lot smaller than his, because he's closer to the light, and then, like, when he hammers, it will shoot you up into the air, and then you can come out of the wall to get to, like, higher places. It looks really cool.
That game's just an artgasm, that's what it is. It's just all about the aesthetics, isn't it?
But it looks like it plays. It looks like it's fun to play as well, man. Unlike the other sort of arty-farty games that kind of suck.
But you know what? Fuck it, there's always DC Universe Online, so you can fill
That's
out
true.
Is that coming out at launch?
It's free as well, at launch.
Oh.
And the other we're going on with freebies. There's more freebies as well. There's that. I think that Warframe game is free as well. Whatever that is, worth a go, whatever. But that Blacklight game's free as well.
Is Blacklight Retribution there at launch as well?
Yeah, that's launched. DC Universe as well. So you've got quite a lot of freebies to get through as well. So
I'm not even joking here, guys. We should play DC Universe Online again.
As long as we actually do missions and not just the running man.
No, it's free. It's free to play now. There's no excuse. We should go and play some more of that game.
Let's do it.
It's been free to play for absolutely ages.
Yeah, but we haven't all had it.
We've all had PS3s.
Whatever.
Some of us still do, yeah.
Low blow.
I'm
going to cry now.
Cool.
Bye.
We're almost to the end of all the Sony stuff already, man.
Really?
Yeah, we've sort of flown through it. I guess the last thing to talk about in regards to Sony is the confirmation of the Last of Us DLC. They confirmed what it was going to be about.
So, and it's about what?
It is a prequel. It is a prequel starring Ellie, and when you're playing through the single player campaign, mild spoilers, I guess. It's like conversation spoilers. She talks about her old friend Riley quite a bit in one of the segments. And this prequel is going to be all about Ellie and Riley in the same way that the Last of Us campaign was all about Ellie and Joel and that relationship. So
cool.
You get to see sort of how things were before, I guess.
Cool.
I have some confusion surrounding this prequel DLC. Because correct me if I'm wrong and if I'm remembering the game a bit differently then. But in the game, has she had experience in killing these mushroom heads? I can't remember, or does she kind of experience them properly for the first time with Joel?
She's experienced in that world. When you first meet her, she has this persona that's almost like an adult. She doesn't seem naive or anything. She's really down to earth. She knows what's going on and stuff. So
no, you're right. Yeah, she is quite cutthroat and quite
I mean, The Last of
No,
Us,
she's
The Last of
callous
Us has been
already.
out long enough now, right?
It was June.
That we can talk about spoilers, kind of.
Kind of spoiler.
Kind of spoiler. Fuck it, I'm gonna talk about spoilers, man. Skip 2 minutes if you don't want to hear spoilers. So she says that she found out that she was immune when her and her friend Riley got infected, right?
Yeah.
So I guess this is going to be that story.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
I definitely do want to play it.
Yeah.
We'll go
me
with
too.
that. I'm gonna have a go at it.
I'm
I'll
a
keep my
at the
PS3.
same time I'm a little bit disappointed because Johnny, you were talking about you wanted it to be that other group, right?
Yeah, I really wanted. I've forgotten his name now.
Firefly.
What's his
No.
name?
Ishmael, was it?
Yeah, I want because they talk about him a lot, and I wanted to sort of see his point of view and play
But
that. But
I guess at the same time they haven't confirmed that this is going to be the only single player DLC they do, right?
no, and I doubt it will be the last we see of The Last of Us.
And amazingly, it's Naughty Dog's first ever single player DLC.
Oh wow, it is as well, isn't it?
Yeah, after all this Uncharted land. But no, we'll have it. We love it. Why not?
Yeah, great.
Let's have a go at it.
Cool.
Ashley Johnson's returned. They got a new character, which is obviously then that Riley. So yeah, we'll have it. Go on.
We'll have it.
Awesome. And that, I think, is all the Sony news that I have to talk about. Jamie,
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
have you got
No,
more?
it's not. Yeah, so well, it's in there as well. So you really are not reading through the running order. Right, Sony exclusive in Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. You're going to get to play as Classic Snake, and then obviously that has brought up conversations about David Hayter again. And again, they're just telling us that no, he's definitely not in there. But then that is just going to be like a Kojima headfuck, isn't it? When you'll just get to be David Hayter through half of the game or something.
What
Still,
the fuck? That's not... No. So, wait. They're going to let
Yep.
you play as the Classic Snake skin, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
But with fucking Kiefer Sutherland's voice.
yeah.
and it's exclusive to the Sonys. So yeah, but look out for that because that might just be the headfuck. Then they keep telling us no, he's definitely not, and then it's just going to be the big reveal.
I don't think they will. I reckon it will just be Kiefer Sutherland's voice. On a...
I reckon they're already done with something must have happened, but like between them or something. But I don't think we're going to see him again, even if they revisit like Solid Snake. I don't think they will, to be honest. They are done. They've made it very clear.
Well, I mean, Solid Snake's story technically ended, man. I wish
Yeah,
they'd have kept
exactly.
him on. But it's irrelevant because that is going to be an overpriced piece of shit demo, man. They can give me all the exclusive content they like. If they're charging me 30 quid for the demo, I'm still not buying it.
I mean, you can see what they're doing though, can't you? Obviously, they want to charge more than the £50 or whatever the standard is now. I think it's basically kind of like a Kickstarter. It seems like they're sort of releasing a bit of the game for like quite a high price, so they can sort of finish it. And then I think they just wanted to get you sort of playing something on your next gen.
The Wii
console.
Play.
Yeah. What?
It's kind of like We Play, in that
Yeah.
like they put out We Play and it was kind of shit, and then they put out like Wii Party later on, which was like what We Play should have been.
Right, so enough of nothingness then, because we need to get this flash news in, get it all sorted, and we need to finish this podcast before we run out of time. Really, the flash news this week is just a massive focus on the Nintendo Direct that's just happened. But first of all, there was a trailer that went live, and I thought it would be worth a laugh. So you need to go check out the new Noah trailer, right?
No,
like
it's spelled
Noah-
like for the Ark, yeah?
Yeah, no, because it literally is Noah about the Ark, right? So I'll summarise the trailer for you, but it could still be okay because this is Darren Aronofsky thingy who did the Black Swan film. So, we might be alright with it. Yeah?
Darren Aronofsky, who did the
Black Swan
Swan film. Okay, cool.
Right. But yeah, so basically the trailer then, right? So Russell Crowe, yeah. This is just like the abridged version, right? He's got a beard, and then he's got like, then he's got some muddy feet because the ground's a bit wet, right?
Yeah.
And then like, I'm not joking, some sort of weird penis snake comes out of grass, and like, it even emerges from its own foreskin for like a split second, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then Odin's in the trailer, right? he's doing his best impression of David Cage's old man. So check that out, right?
Yeah.
And then Ray Winston shows up and does an impression of Ray Winston. Right?
What the fuck?
And then all these animals get on the boat, and then like God just like comes on Crow's face like with all this rain. And then Emma Watson shows up, and that's it. You don't care about the film anymore.
Why are all these people in the fucking film? How many animals are on the boat? Is that all the animals? All of the animals, yeah?
Yeah.
Just all of the animals. Amazing.
All of the animals. The
Noah's
thing that
Ark.
gets me though is there's about 100 people making the Ark, but like
Oh.
they're not going to let them go on there. So surely that's just a waste of your time. At least when like Evan Almighty did it, he did it with just his family, and then he took them with him.
My favourite part of Evan Almighty is when they're surfing the Ark through the middle of that town, right? How many people just fucking died in that tidal wave? It's never addressed, man. Oh,
It's okay though, because all you can see is Brick Tamlin putting mayonnaise through the toaster.
that's true.
But yeah. So check out that trailer, because like I said, it's an absolute fucking joke, but at the same time, Black Swan was an incredible film. So you'd like to think he can follow up quite nicely. You'd like to, wouldn't you? But yeah, Russell Crowe. He even does like a Henry Cavill moment where he's underwater and like opens his eyes and stuff. It's just like Superman waking up.
Sweet.
Check it out. Check it out, right?
We will.
Anyway, so Nintendo do still exist, even though it's all about Sony right now. They've had their Nintendo Direct. I'm going to just try and pick through some of these key bits now because we are running out of time. A lot of focus was put on Link Between Worlds, introducing some new characters. But the bit that really stood out for me was that they've got this new thing called it doesn't have a name yet. It's like a Street Pass bounty quest. And you have to you put your character available to be like a ghost Link online, and then people will find them in their world, and they have a chance to battle them to get extra rupees.
That's
So
pretty cool.
whatever state you're in the game, like however many hearts you've got, whatever weapons you've got unlocked, that becomes the character you can put out there as like a ghost to be fought. Just made me think of like the Demon Souls and Dark Souls, really.
Yeah, that is cool. I like the idea.
But looking at those characters as well, we obviously know the witch one, Irene. She's going to let you transport between areas in the game. So you'll have an option to like
a fast travel.
Yeah, like ring a little bell and she'll come along and pick you up on the broomstick. And it'll even work when you're in between different worlds as well. So that'll be quite cool. Ben, have you seen the Bravely Default Special Edition?
The one with the awesome figure?
Yeah, have you ordered
it? You know I've seen it.
Have you ordered it?
I may have pre-ordered it.
Right. Not to put the focus on that, but really they were talking about this strange new tactic that you obviously use brave points then as as a means of fighting.
Yeah.
But something that I found quite weird, and something that you'll do, is you'll put the system in sleep mode, and it earns you an in-game attack bonus.
Yeah, you sort of build up, you can build up to get a special attack thing. I think it's called like a desperation attack or something like that.
Yeah.
That you get through walking around with just having it in sleep mode. I believe it takes 6 hours to charge up one version of it, or 8 hours to charge up one version of it.
What?
That seems a bit extreme.
Yeah, or you could buy it on the East.
What?
Yeah,
of course you can.
You can buy it. It's fucking Square Enix. Of course they're doing a stupid DLC thing. So you can leave it in sleep mode for 8 hours to get this attack. You don't have to use it. It's like a trump card type thing, where you only use it if you definitely have to.
That's disgusting.
But they've put it up for sale, so you can buy a use of that attack.
How much is it? Do we know?
Well, it's Square Enix, so it's probably a fucking stupid amount. I'm $3, so £2, I reckon.
It's disgusting, isn't it? That really is awful.
Like
It's really bad, man. But then what do you expect? They made all the bravest.
It's true.
I don't even.
Man,
Sticking with. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just a bit worried about 15.
Flash.
Oh!
Sticking with
Have to level up.
3DS.
Yeah,
I'm
go
just gonna,
for it.
let's through these now then for 3DS. Mario Party Island Tour has been confirmed to be released on January the 17th. They put a lot of focus on the Street Pass mini games and the use of motion controls in that one. Inazuma 11.3 Team Ogre Attacks is coming out in February.
Is
one for you, Ben?
that another DS port or is it an actual 3DS game?
It's a new 3DS game. They're looking at you being able to upload your characters from the previous games as well. But you'll be able to move your characters over. It'll be the only way to get some of them in like a Pokemon's fashion, right? YouTube is coming to 3DS this month. It might have already landed. I haven't looked. There is going to be a system update in December which combines your balances between the 3DS and the Wii U.
That's
because
cool.
that was something that's had a lot of. It's been a big talking point in the community, so they've been looking for that. It'll also bring the Miiverse over to the 3DS as well, which is a really good feature on the Wii U. So it'll be nice to see that. One for you, Gianni. I'd be quite interested as well. There's basically a Football Manager game coming out for the DS now as well, and it's what the consoles needed, really. To be honest, I don't want to play Football Manager Sims on the PC. I want to play it on my DS, my 3DS.
Well, I'd be excited about that, but I'm waiting for the one to come out on the Vita one, because that actually talks to the one on the PC. I'm not sure if the 3DS one would.
It's a Nintendo-owned brand one though, so it won't be the Football Manager. It's called like Nintendo Pocket Football Club.
Oh, okay.
Ultimate X, Y.
Yeah.
Pissy pants in a vending machine.
You got basically Pikachu trying to run your own team or something.
Oh my god, you just described an amazing game, Gianni. Pikachu is the coach.
We need to get Pikachu the detective out of the way first, and then we can get Pikachu the football coach. And then it'll be Pikachu the news anchor, and it'll just be reliving Will Ferrell's like movie career.
See? It's all there, man. Nintendo used to steal these ideas.
Okay. No. Right, Wii U talk. Wii U. Nobody really cares. Pikmin 3 has been... we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, I think, all these like bonus levels, but they've just basically been parts of the game that already exist. But now they've got some new environments coming in, so there'll be things like a house party in a warehouse and somebody's place on Christmas Day and stuff like that.
House party.
Noel's house party.
Noel's house party, man.
Yeah. No.
YouTube that shit, guys.
I'm sure they're old enough to remember it, though.
That's true.
I don't think our target audience is 5-year-olds.
If she doesn't remember, she's not old enough.
Jamie, where the fuck did that come from?
Moving on.
I've given up now. No, I don't care anymore. No,
Done fucked it.
no, fucking hell, man.
Right.
Wii Fit U, right? You basically have to already own the board from the Wii, so you have to have a Wii console to have a board to get Wii Fit U, and then you get like a 30-day trial online. But then you're stuck with a membership for like 2 years or something. It's like a real gym, but without going to the real gym.
You have to pay a membership.
Something like that, right?
What
and then
the
sticking with the membership theme, there's this Wii Sports Club thing, right? And you get 24 hours for free, but then you have to buy passes in 24 hours of time. It's like, okay, right? That's how they're doing that one. Or you can permanently unlock one game by paying a full price for one game.
Are you
I don't know,
serious?
something like that. There's like different sports on there. You either can buy a 24-hour pass for all of them, or you can just permanently unlock like football or tennis or something and do it that way.
Is that actually a thing?
That's similar to the karaoke thing they're doing, though, isn't it? Like, you get a 24-hour... No, not even 24-hour. Like, a 2-hour karaoke pass. So it's like going and actually sitting in one of those karaoke bars in Japan. So I bet that does quite well in Japan.
I suppose.
Don't you miss the days when Nintendo didn't give a fuck about online stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all the calls for them to do online stuff were just from people taking the piss, because they shouldn't be involved in it.
I mean,
I just want to blow
if
on a
that-
cartridge and play Mario 3.
if that karaoke thing was free to play, and you just pay for your pass and get access to the entire library, and the pass was reasonably priced, then fair enough. But
Is it
how
not like that?
is
not-
that?
no.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
You get, like, you'll buy a pass, and it will last you 2 hours of gameplay, and then you just play any songs within that time limit until it runs out.
And the access to the game itself is free, though. Yeah.
You download the game for free, but then you have to buy the time slot to play it. Yeah,
See, now, if the time slot's reasonably priced, I actually don't have a problem with that.
that's what I'm saying. It could do all right in Japan, where they already have a similar thing where you'd actually go out, wouldn't you, and you'd sit in one of those booths and you'd do it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but karaoke here is kind of like that as well. You go out and you buy drinks and stuff to do karaoke, so you're still sort of paying to like do karaoke.
Yeah, but if you don't like people,
And think how much it costs. I mean, I'm imagining it to be fairly reasonably priced, rather than buying a SingStar set and the microphones for like, what is it, 30, £40? So if it's only like a few pounds for a 2-hour session, you can play that repeatedly and still probably only pay the cost of the equivalent on the PlayStation.
It
So I
could
don't see a
cost
problem.
£100. I wouldn't mind if it meant I could see you do the Evanescence Bring Me to Life again.
Fuck off. You doing what's her name? That was amazing. Kate Nash.
Yeah. All right, we do like SingStar. We'll give them- Right. Last bit, and I shouldn't have saved it to last because we're probably not going to be able to really talk about it. They've looked at Super Mario 3D World and they've given us 10 big key new things in this game, and they're all exciting. So I'll try and sound enthusiastic, right?
Go on then.
Number one, there will be touchscreen and microphone play. So when the enemies are approaching you, you could like blow into the mic and it will just like send a shockwave.
Oh.
Some sort of like weird Matrix style moves.
Oh.
There's a thing called the Golden Express. It's like this cool looking coin train. It's all gold. All these things
Nice.
coming out of it. You know, on the 3D World game on the DS, the 3DS one, and then there would be those levels where you're in the box and you have to turn the 3D on to really
Oh, yeah.
know what to do with them. There's something similar to that, but the focus is on playing as like Toad, and he's got like his little engineer gear on, and he's got a little like miner's hat on, and like the stipulation might be something like you've got to get all these stars without jumping and stuff like that. So there's some cool little puzzles added. They've put some speed runs in there. They want to obviously get the hardcore gamers, give it an extra life, really. There's going to be mystery houses, and I think that's similar to the Luigi's Mansion 2 multiplayer.
That's
So
pretty
you'll be running through room after room, challenge after challenge. Some of the bosses they've introduced, I think you really need to see the trailer. I can't do it justice talking about it, but it's the Motley boss. It's like this big blob thing. You'd need to see it in the trailer. It's hard to describe. They've got some top-down shooter stages as well. It sounds like it's going a bit Little Big Planet now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've taken the SNES Mario Kart levels and they've put some of those in as side-scrolling platformer levels, and they've kept all the original music. So that was quite nice.
This game is sounding better and better, isn't it, man?
It's expanding.
It is.
It's expanding. If you have Luigi U data on your Wii U, there will be an unlockable Luigi Bros game for you. So you know the old Mario Bros game where it's just that one screen, you flip all the little spiky shell things up, and then you have to knock them.
Yeah.
Like the introduction of Luigi, wasn't it? If you've got Luigi U data, you get that straight onto there as well. And the big reveal is that you'll be able to unlock Rosalina as a playable character.
Rosalina is the chick from Mario Galaxy, right?
Like codename Princess Galaxy.
Yeah.
So it's the same people who made that game, isn't it? So it's quite a nice touch for them to be able to add that to the game.
I'm
Cool.
absolutely fine with that, man.
You guys will see. You'll be coming around and having a go.
Definitely.
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 Hey.
Looks
Cool. Is
Definitely done. Yeah.
that's flash news, man?
It wasn't
News
very
flash.
It's
Whatever
very
we're
flashy.
calling it. Good times. I guess that's it. If you want to get in contact with us, you can drop us a comment, or you can follow us on Twitter at gsc_games. If you want to get in contact with any of us directly, our Twitter tags will be down in the description. You can follow us on Facebook at GSC Games. And thanks for listening to our podcast for another week.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cheers.
It's hashtag Tom Bosley.
Hashtag Tom Bosley. Bye!
What?
I'm going to leave the awkward silence in.
Who's Tom Bosley?
Tom Bosley. Are you looking?